The Atlantic was restless that night. Thunder rolled in from the sea, low in warning, as the lights of Lagos scattered across the water like broken glass. High above Eco-Atlantic, Nkita Ike stood alone on the roof of a half-finished tower, the wind tugging at his jacket. His phone vibrated once in his palm, then went dead. No signal, no backup, no agency. By morning, the Pan-African Intelligence Unit would officially cease to exist. An International Oversight Council had labeled it illegal, destabilizing, unnecessary. Nkita had read the statement before the servers went dark. Polished language, diplomatic lies. PAIU wasn't being shut down because it failed. It was being erased because it had begun to see too clearly. Nkita slipped away from the rooftop as rain began to fall. That same evening, Lagos dressed itself in elegance. Inside the National Theatre, a cultural summit unfolded in gold light and percussion. Dignitaries seated shoulder to shoulder, ministers, oil executives, generals, foreign observers. Africa's future applauded itself between drumbeats. Nkita moved above them, unseen, his eyes scanning angles and reflections. 3 shooters, elevated positions, clean lines of sight. Their targets sat calmly in the front row, a finance minister stubborn enough to challenge illicit capital flows that vanish from African economies every year. Nkita adjusted his stance. Then he noticed a woman. She stood near the rear aisle, composed, observant, hands still while others clapped. She wasn't African Union security. She didn't move like foreign intelligence either. Her eyes didn't follow the stage, they followed the room. When the performance reached its crescendo, the first shot came. Soft, suppressed, precise. Screams tore through the theater as the lights went out. Nkita moved instantly, dropping one shooter before he could relocate, tackling another as panic flooded the aisles. The third disappeared into the dark. The minister lived. That was the message. Not assassination, intimidation. By dawn, Nkita Ike was a ghost. His face circulated through security briefings across borders. His name was scrubbed from official systems. The same governments that once relied on him now hunted him, quietly subcontracting foreign operators to do the dirty work. He surfaced in Accra, keeping close to the coast, blending into crowds that had learned long ago how to look past trouble. That's where she found him. She didn't approach with urgency. She sat, ordered coffee, and slid a tablet across the table like an afterthought. "You're chasing shadows," she said, "and they're wearing familiar faces." Her name was Zuri Mensah. What she showed him rewired everything. Financial trails looping through shell NGOs, security contracts awarded to private armies with no flags, elections nudged, coups softened, resources redirected under the language of development and stability. At the center of it all was a structure, quiet, layered, deliberate, a consortium of former intelligence chiefs, arms brokers, and financiers who believed Africa functioned best when it never fully stood upright. PAIU had refused to fold into it, so it was dismantled. Nkita didn't trust Zuri. She knew too much. She withheld just enough. She operated independently, selling truths like currency. But she was right, and she was already moving. They crossed borders like rumors. Nairobi's fintech corridors, Johannesburg's mirrored towers, Dakar's ports humming with trade and secrets. Everywhere, the same pattern surfaced. Money disguised as aid. Security masquerading as partnership. Control without accountability. In Rwanda, beneath the celebrated tech campus hailed as a symbol of progress, they finally reached the core. Marcus Vail didn't resist capture. He spoke like a man explaining a theorem, not defending a crime. "Peace without control is chaos," he said calmly. "You protect nations. I design outcomes." Nkita listened. Then he smiled. Vail never realized he had already lost. Nkita didn't expose him with bullets or explosions. He used the consortium's own obsession with redundancy, leaking synchronized data drops, triggering internal betrayals, forcing regional powers to confront evidence they could no longer ignore. By sunrise, arrests began in places that never made the news. Accounts froze. Partnerships collapsed. Entire narratives quietly unraveled. Officially, nothing happened. Weeks later, Nkita stood at Cape Coast, watching waves crash against stone walls heavy with memory. The past echoed there, chains, departures, survival. His phone vibrated once. An encrypted message glowed briefly on the screen. "If Africa is to rise, someone must stay in the shadows." Nkita deleted it. Then he slipped into the crowd, just another figure moving forward, unseen, carrying a mission that no longer needed a name.